Well, I'm ending my 50-year relationship with the New York Times. I've had home
Oh,
I've had home delivery for 16 years, full week
right,
delivery, and then in January I cut it back to just Sundays with the digital.
right,
But if you want to know the reason, given the what I consider the abhorrent treatment of Bernie Sanders almost instantaneously to his declaration that he was running for president. And
right.
I've written to the public editor Margaret Sullivan 4 times. Um, this is it. Basically, I'm canceling my subscription.
Okay. All right. Understood. Understood. Okay. All right. And was there anything else besides that?
No, no, you can go right ahead and do that with alacrity,
Okay.
as speedily
Well,
as you
like I
can.
said, I'd be happy to help you with your account in any way I can, and also can put feedback in here also as well. Um, Now, just to kind of take things to the opposite end of that, was there anything that you did like?
Well, obviously, if I've had a 50-year relationship,
Right,
practically back to the Herald Tribune, I've
right,
obviously, and in one of my letters to Margaret Sullivan, I said to her, indeed, I have been a loyal defender of the New York Times for years, as well as against all kinds of criticisms of its being purely an organ of left-wing politics. My response has always been that the Times is one of the few repositories of objective news, in-depth reporting, and balanced editorial content.
right,
It has ceased being that. It has become, in my opinion, another accomplice in the degeneration of our democracy. It has belittled, marginalized, and there are many other adjectives that I could use
right.
in terms of Bernie Sanders, including a couple of things that happened today.
Okay,
On page A13, the headline reads, "A Seamless Transition from Brooklyn to Rome."
okay,
In the very first paragraph, this is a president that has gone to the Vatican, and I think he finally did meet with the Pope. The end of that says, on Thursday night, Bernie Sanders was standing underneath the lights in Brooklyn being pressed by journalists and his rival at the Democratic debate, Hillary Clinton, to provide details about his often vague policy ideas. And then
right,
further down, one of the policy ideas in the fourth paragraph that is mentioned is his wanting to have access to free public university and college education by right for all Americans.
right.
Actually, later on in a video, I'm going to uh, indicate how, in fact, that is about as practical as you can possibly get. An idea. It is not impractical. It can be done actually easily. And I'm going to be sharing that with people on Facebook in one of my public policy videos. But
Okay,
let me say this. This started. My first letter was May 28th of 1915. One of the reporters, Nick Corasaniti, on May 19th, in a edition in a article about Bernie Sanders saying, seeking the presidency, Sanders becomes Facebook royalty through quirky sharing. His opening paragraph was the following. The quotation he posts, rarely pithy, are often sayings he thinks up in the shower. The photographs he
okay,
puts up sometimes show him frowning, while others show him gazing oddly into the horizon. And he does not seem to care about the importance of videos. My goodness. This is the opening sentence of someone who's running for president. So we're talking about references to age. We're talking about references to mental capacity. We're talking about all kinds of things rather than policy positions that Bernie Sanders is about. What's
right.
interesting to me, and I'm glad you're listening to this as long as you are, and I appreciate your generosity, is
You're
that
welcome.
the New York Times, I think, has become somewhat schizophrenic. The New York Times, and one of the reasons for my 50-year relationship, is that it has given voice to racism, income inequality, student debt, the corruption of our politics by money, and on, climate change. I'm going to miss fabulous people like Nicholas Kristof, Eduardo Porter, who talks so much about income inequality and the economy.
Right.
I'm going to miss other people that write for the New York Times, but I can no longer get up in the morning and see the fact that the Times, instead of being a bulwark for democracy, has become a willing accomplice. If the Times would like to challenge me to the truth of this, I would love to have that challenge, because for more than 1 year I have been following how they have treated Bernie Sanders, like every other media. At this point in time, Bernie Sanders is the best thing we have, in my opinion. And I'm only expressing my opinion.
I'm kind of leaning that way too.
Okay, but in any case, let's do what we have to do here and close this subscription.
Okay. All right. All right. One moment here.
Well, thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. I do appreciate it. And I absolutely understand your position on this, but I do have to ask that if you are certain you do want to make this permanent change today.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No turning back.
Okay. All right. I understand. Okay. The soonest I can put a stop through for you will actually, it looks like it's going to let me put it in tomorrow. Now, if you do get a paper tomorrow, do not panic. It is officially stopped.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No.
By the way, your delivery person, who's Hispanic, has been wonderful.
Okay, great.
As a fellow Latino, I appreciate that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in today, Frank. Was there anything else I could help you with?
No, that's it. I mean, if you can singularly at your level change what the Times is doing, I think it would behoove them to do what they were doing for many, many years, but unfortunately stopped doing last year.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, understood. All right, you have a great rest of your day today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Later on today, as I mentioned in that telephone conversation, I will be providing a video on how Sanders' vision of having free higher public education as a universal is absolutely possible and very practical. Thank you.